I'm Shiva.
I'm Sandy.
And this is
Our Relaxing Hobby.
Hello.
Hi.
Tonight's episode is going to be about how friends don't let friends get fancy goldfish.
Exactly.
Kind of all on Shiva there. She decided to try some, and
yeah, it's been a horrific adventure.
Well, mostly it's because they've been so inbred kind of thing that they have a lot of issues. A lot, all of them so far that Shiva's ever owned. I know some people have had them for years and they've never had a problem. I mean, hell, we've had Bonnie for years.
Yeah.
But
Bonnie's had problems.
But Bonnie's had lots
She's
and lots of problems.
Fighter.
Yeah, I think we've done an episode on her tank and her haunted tank, and
yeah, you've heard us talk about Bonnie's haunted tank. Now, just to make it clear, no, we don't think her tank's actually haunted, but it is a Fantail tank.
Yes.
Which means that there's always something going on with it.
Yeah.
So it's just easier at first to say we think the tank's haunted.
So we don't actually recommend fancy gold. I mean, I know we're probably gonna get some haters out there that tell us they love them, but
leave your hate mail here.
Yeah, leave your hate mail because we are not fans.
And we are going to defend this to the death.
Yeah. Literally to the death of these stupid fish.
Yeah.
I don't even. How many? You started out with Bonnie. Was he one of the originals?
Yeah, I started out
and
with
you had how
three.
many?
I started out with three. I started out with Bonnie, Teach, and Rackham.
Right.
All of my Fantails are named after the flying gang from the Pirates.
Okay.
So Anne Bonnie, Mary Reed, Jack Rackham, and for the first couple months, everything was wonderful. They were beautiful fish. I thought, okay,
they are. She's beautiful.
I'm decent with comet goldfish and koi.
Why not?
Why not? I mean,
Oops.
Fantail goldfish are carp, so that's in that family.
Yeah.
Well, it started with Rackham. Rackham was our clown, which we're going to get into how there always has to be a clown in this tank too, but Rackham was our original clown. He was just bouncing all over the place, happy-go-lucky. He loved playing the bubble wands. You would always see him swimming over to the air bubble stones and shooting all the way up, and then he'd go back down again, and he was just so much fun to watch. And then he started with developing the swim bladder issue, which
is another episode, by the way.
Yeah. We knew how to fix that. So we got that fixed, and then he just started developing some sort of bacterial disease that was just making him look awful, and he ended up dying by the time.
Now keep in mind the other two fish were perfectly fine during all this.
Yes. Yeah. The other two fish were perfectly fine until they weren't.
Right.
Because then Teach, who was a black boar, started getting a really bad case of ick that we could not get rid of.
Right.
Now there's very standard ways of getting rid of ick. It's very common, but it's also very easy to get rid of, usually. This just kept coming back and back and back and back, and it finally ended up killing him. Now, Bonnie
was in there,
and she got it too, but she pulled through no problem.
Yeah, because she's Bonnie.
But it took out Teach.
So then you bought.
So then we bought. Let's see. Then we had Hornigold.
Yeah, he didn't last very long.
Hornigold and Morgan.
Yeah, I was saying Hornigold didn't last very long. He was the pretty green one, right?
Right. Hornigold was a pretty green one, and he ended up catching a bacterial infection of some sort.
Now keep in mind, during this whole time, the tank was cleaned out. So it wasn't, and Bonnie never caught the bacterial infection at that time.
Nope.
Never. So whatever it wasn't contagious. It was just something with these fish. Because that was one of the things I remember you guys were talking about. You cleaned the whole tank out.
Oh yeah.
Gave him a different tank for a while, didn't you? Yeah. So it was a whole switch tank. So just to see if make sure nothing was the same.
Yep. So we got Hornigold and Morgan. Hornigold died within a few months.
Yeah.
And Morgan
lasted for a minute.
For a long time.
Yeah, he lasted. He was.
And the strange thing is that Morgan just started acting weird, and at first we were like, okay.
Well, didn't he take on the personality of Teach, kind of?
He took on the personality of Rackham.
Yeah, the crazy, fun, loving at first, yeah.
Very, very fun, loving, crazy. She would come over and see Morgan like swimming upside down and going, "Is there something wrong with the fish?" And it's like, we don't think so.
Yeah, he swam upside down for a hum, but it wasn't swim bladder. It wasn't. He wasn't sick. There was nothing wrong that we could tell.
Just thought it was funny.
Yeah, he was.
What
just
ended
weird.
up getting him was another type of infection, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He went quick too, though. He went
quick when he caught it.
right.
It was a while after Hornigold, because
Yeah, it wasn't right away. It
was like
probably
a year. Or so
Yeah, it was
later.
at least a year later. It was something else.
Something else got a hold of him.
And we don't know if there's something that's ingrained in them because they've been bred so much. Inbred, I'm assuming, because.
Oh my God, it took him quick, and so it was like, okay, so our clowny fish is done. So I ended up getting Reed and Martel.
Yep, and then it was Martel that first took the.
Martel immediately
started acting crazy.
Just like Morgan, just like Rackham did.
Yep.
So then we're beginning to think, okay, there always has to be a clown in that tank.
Yeah, we just kind of stopped worrying about it so much.
Yeah, because Martel, again, little baby, acting crazy.
Yeah.
And
Reed was perfectly normal.
Reed was a red Moor.
Yeah.
And
Reed never
was
acted crazy.
Reed was acting normal. And Bonnie was just like, entertain me, slave, so...
Yeah, they worship Bonnie all the time. Just, you know.
So Bonnie, who is...
I'm pretty sure it's her causing all this.
Yeah. She thinks that Bonnie put spells on them or something to make them act crazy.
Yeah.
But the three of them actually stayed together for a pretty long
while. Over a year.
Yeah, well over a year.
Yeah.
So we had Bonnie, Reed, and Martel. And then all of a sudden Martel started getting bloaty.
Yeah.
And it wasn't swim bladder.
Right.
At first we thought it was, and so we started treating Martel for swim bladder, and that wasn't working. And then he got the dropsy symptom, and then we knew it was organ failure. So it took
Which was, I think we did a whole other episode on that too. If you go back and look, by all means.
We did do an episode on dropsy.
Right.
Dropsy being a symptom of something that we knew was organ failure, but we couldn't figure out what it was. So
it's so many different things.
Martel ended up dying, which was heartbreaking because Martel was gorgeous and he was so full of personality.
Yeah.
But within 2 days?
Within 2 days, Martel literally started swimming. Upside down.
Yeah.
Upside down.
2 days of Martel dying.
Reed started swimming upside down, acting crazy.
Right, had never done it before.
Nothing wrong with him that we could tell. Never had done it before.
Yep.
And then he did the upside down, the eye infection, which I think we have some video on that.
Yeah.
Took his eyes for a long while. We think he has some sight in one, but the other one's completely gone.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was crazy. Massive eye infection. And he lived through that. And then he's still doing the weirdo upside down thing.
Yeah. Since then,
keep in mind, Bonnie's not catching any of these.
Yeah. Bonnie and Reed have been together for about 2 years now.
2 years at least by themselves.
At least 2 years by themselves.
Yeah, she even decided she wasn't buying any more.
Yeah, I decided the end.
She learned her lesson. No more Fantail.
Since then, we have gone through multiple bacterial infections, parasites, fish lice.
This tank is haunted.
All kinds of crazy shit. Right now, as we speak, we are treating them for fish lice again.
Now, keep in mind, the entire tank was cleaned out. We took all the gravel out. We took all the plants out. We took everything out except the fish, who were completely clear of it. We changed everything, and they caught it again.
Yeah.
So
the only thing I can think of is that these fish have a higher level of stress than other fish, because stress usually will make them more prone towards disease.
Yeah, but the fish lice are not.
Well, no, that's true for fish lice too.
Yeah, but how do they get in? They gotta get in there first. That's what I don't know. Holly's saying there's no way we missed an egg. Yeah. Not the way we did it. But anyway, regardless.
Yeah, we completely changed the tank. But
anyway.
Yeah. So.
By all means, you have any questions on that? Comment. We love fish lice. Oh gosh.
Yeah. Meanwhile, here we have like 12 different aquariums, and that's the only aquarium that's doing it.
Yeah, knock on something, because that's the only one.
That's the only tank
that's ever had it.
Yeah, that's ever had the fish lice. That's ever had some of these infections. I mean, we did have ick in the roefish tank once. We have had ick in Bonnie's tank at least a half dozen times.
Yeah. Because they've got to be stressed out, because, I mean, I honestly, I think a lot of it has to do with, I mean, personal opinion is that they were so inbred over generations of just people breeding the same, trying to get that pretty look, just, kind of like the guppies. that it's just caused a lot of medical issues. And the bigger fish, they last longer, and especially as hard as Shiva works to save them, where, with the guppies, it's like, oh, look, there's a guppy sick. Oh, wait, the guppy died. Shiva will go, to extreme lengths to save the fish. So nothing wrong with that, but I'm just saying it's,
I keep saying that let's see, I've been doing this for 6 years now. Another 2 years and just hand me a diploma in marine biology.
Right.
With as much as I've been learning, especially from Bonnie's Tank. Most of my fish medical knowledge has come from Bonnie's Tank.
Right, yeah. And Google.
Yeah, Google and Bonnie's Tank. But basically Bonnie's Tank, because first we have to play Let's Identify This.
Yeah.
Honestly, if you're looking for pretty large and pretty fish, there are so many better options from fish that are generally either wild caught or very selectively bred.
Right.
Not
just seem to be healthy. Yeah, they just seem to be healthier.
Yeah.
And again, this is my personal opinion, but I consider goldfish a very dirty fish, so you're going to have to work a lot harder to maintain the tank. Where you don't have to work quite so hard if you have other breeds of fish. But again, fancy goldfish, we're not fans.
Yeah. Some people like the fancy goldfish. They're good, they're pretty to look at. You know what else is great to look at and fun to look at? A tank full of ropefish. And the fun thing about them? They're all wild caught. They're not bred in captivity, which means that there's a nice, big genetic pool out there, and you're not going to run in. I've never had any problems with my ropefish, other than one that died of old age.
Right.
So you'll also find the same holds true with a lot of other fish as well.
Yeah.
If you look for the ones that are actually wild caught rather than the ones that have been bred to the point of being ridiculous.
Right, and that's what we feel. At least I feel that's what's wrong with the fancy goldfish to some extent.
They're also bred to the point of ridiculous where it makes it hard for them to survive. You can't put a fancy goldfish into a pond full of comets, and they're not going to survive.
They're not going to survive. They don't move quick enough.
They don't move quick enough. They get out competed for food.
Right.
So,
Yeah, don't get me started on dog breeds, but
it could be argued that koi are similar, except for koi being more of a hardy fish. That when we have the butterfly koi like we do, the mutt of them being from the German stock and the Japanese stock tend to make them a little bit more hardy.
Right.
This is not holding true for the fancy goldfish, though.
Right. Yeah. You're breeding the bad into them, but that's just me. That's just us.
And that's just us and our
We don't recommend them at all. But if you have any questions, comments, complaints,
hate mail.
Hate mail's fine. She loves hate mail.
Yeah.
By all means, comment below, like, subscribe, share. Buy our t-shirts. I don't have one on now. It's sad. We did buy some. Mine are all dirty. I wore them on a regular basis.
We do have a shop, and the proceeds do go towards helping us improve the show and getting us. We do have some field trips planned eventually.
Hopefully. We had some planned, and then we kind of had to pause again because COVID did this little trick again. But we're trying to hopefully get back on that. So.
Yeah. Well, right now we're doing a lot of renovations to the house too, and believe me, we'll be showing you that once we get that done. Because we're putting in yet another pond because we're insane.
Bigger pond.
Bigger pond. So
we're
insane.
But if you have any questions, comments below, like, subscribe, share, and we will see you next time.
Yeah. Bye.